Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Today we are getting an immediate message from Spirit. We're asking for an immediate message, and I'll also kind of see whether I can find out anything for you about the coming week. I post these readings every single Sunday. So we're drawing 3 cards together. This is for pile 1 and indeed pile 2. I'm seeing 2 cards coming through. Okay, and let's get a card for pile 3 as well, and there it is showing up perfectly for us. Okay, so I'm going to lift these up so you can have a much closer look at them, and then I'm also going to draw some runes and a charm for each as well. So pile 1, you have attention. This is your first card for pile 1. This will be your initiator. Okay, for pile 2, we have cultivation. That's for pile 2. And for pile 3, we have perceptive. This is for pile 3. So those are the 3 cards, the first initiator cards for the readings. Let's draw a rune for each and also a charm. So pile 1, you have your rune is the rune of manners, the rune of the self. Beautiful. Okay, and your charm. Just going to bring some little counters in here just so that you can see them when we lay them out. Okay, we have for your charm. There it. Oh, you've got 2, 3. Literally 3 coming out, and that was just magic. Okay, so you have love. You have a child. Okay. This is significant. And you also have a fairy. Wow. Wow, that's unusual. Okay, love, a child and a fairy, and Manas, the rune of the self. Okay, so that is for pile 1. Pile 2. We have the rune of, this is interesting, we have the rune Awaz, defense. Okay, so that is for pile 2. And your charm, or charms, let's see what happens. It's charm. Okay, we have the great big heart. This is interesting. This came out in readings that I did a couple of days ago, actually on Friday. Okay, the very first readings of 2025, that heart came out, that very same charm. Okay, let us look now for pile 3. Your rune is, the rune of Fehu. This is possessions, nourishment, ambitions, satisfied. Pretty exciting energy. That's sitting with perceptive. And we have the charm of the butterfly. Okay, so that is pile 3. Wow. Okay, beautiful souls. So we're going to be asking for an immediate message for you from Source, from Spirit, from your Spirit team. We're going to see what comes through. Let me make sure that's focusing for you. Okay. Might see if I can zoom it in a little bit if anyone needs a little bit more time and space. With this, I'll leave the video running for a few moments longer, and I will see you in the readings in a moment. And as I said, we'll also dive into the week ahead, see what comes through for the week ahead for you as well. So I will see you in a moment in the readings. Thank you so much for being here, beautiful souls. Thank you if you are returning, welcome. And thank you if you're new, welcome. I will see you in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Welcome, beautiful souls. Thank you so, so much. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. You have the card of attention. You also have these 3 charms. You have love, you have a child, and you have a beautiful fairy figure. And you have manas, the rune of the self. Manas, the rune of the self, is like the rune of joy, which looks like a P, kind of split down the middle, literally looking at itself. And it's really interesting. This card literally says, be guided by your heart. You know, think about what you're thinking. Think about what you want. What within you needs your attention. What do you desire? Because the world is going to mirror back. This is like a mirror of joy. So the world is going to mirror back whatever you put into the world. Now, it's very interesting. This child is really, I feel, child energy. For some of you, this is like your inner child. Your inner child is needing your attention. But let's draw more cards. Let's get your immediate message, and then we'll dive in and look at the week ahead for you. May we please have guidance about this initial message that pile 1 need to be hearing now. Gosh, unicorn, I feel like this is about believing in the magic. This is really coming through strongly here. This fairy is really wispy. I think this is believe in the magic and then let the universe give you what you desire. Trust and focus on what you desire and trust that it will come. Trust the universe will deliver. That I feel is your first message. And here are your cards coming through. Wow. Well, these are obviously the ones for you. Look at the way they just arrived. It was like they just almost pushed themselves out of the pack. They came to you. What you need will come to you. Oh my goodness me, look at this. Look at the light in this card. Blue Mother, Yellow Mountain, Gibbous Moon. Sisters of the Spring Swallow, good fortune granted. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. So, I feel that you literally are to be granted a kind of a gift. There's something that is going to, a harvest is going to be brought to you. You need to trust that the universe is going to deliver it. This really is, believe in the magic. You know, in the way that a child would believe in magic. A child, before anything of the world had caused them to question anything or believe anything negative, with the purity of a child, believe in the magic. Because you are to be guided. Look at the way they are moving forwards with harvest. Look at the new dawn coming. Trust, beautiful soul. I kind of want more information about what this is about for you. I'd like to get much more detailed information, and we can ask about the coming week. But your primary message is literally sit in a space of trust. It's like looking through life through the lens of a child who has that absolute purity of trust and belief that the world is an amazing, exciting place that will deliver. Let's draw another oracle card for you. May we please have a further card? It's this one. Facade. Can you believe it? Because this is a card where it's about the solar plexus energy of the chakras. So it's very creative. It's about being creative. But there's a child here. And the story of this card is about someone who spent their life almost like carrying responsibility. In fact, as a child, this gentleman here, as a child, circumstances happened in such a way that he stepped up. Even as a child, he carried responsibility. And he carried on throughout his whole life, carrying responsibility, sometimes responsibility that was not his to carry. So that's another important message coming through. And then he reached a point in his world where it's like he learned to play again. He moved through the facade of always having to be the one that carried responsibility for everyone else. It moved through the facade that it's like he had developed this kind of perspective as a child that he really kind of always had to work. He always had to be the one that was kind of doing the carrying responsibility literally for everything and everyone. And he relearned to play. I mean, so this is about a real affirmation here of looking through the lens of a child with purity. I think whatever you are doing in your world at the moment, my beautiful souls, whatever you are manifesting, whatever you're working on, whatever situation is around you, some of you may well be carrying more responsibility than you ought to, but you're being asked to kind of trust whatever's going on around you. Believe in the magic, because actually you're going to be guided and the universe is going to deliver to you. That's what I'm seeing here. Literally, it will arrive. Let's get a bit more information. I get the impression that some of you may be approaching something or carrying a lot. And this is such an affirmation. Let's get more guidance. May we ask about how this is happening? A bit more information, please, and particularly about how the week ahead is going to be emerging. Is this a week where you feel you've already got a really full schedule, that perhaps you're feeling a bit overloaded, a bit burdened by responsibility? Let's check in. Okay, so we have, first of all, we have the Empress. Oh my goodness me. These are beautiful cards. We have the Empress and we have the Four of Wands, which is a card of celebration. So we've got happiness, we've got celebration, commitment, we've got the King of Cups. Wow. Really sitting pretty. We have the card of strength and we have the card of the Chariot. And we have the Six of Cups. And look what we see in this particular Six of Cups. Again, we see a child being looked after, having a hair played with, plaited perhaps even. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory. And then we have the Star. Wow, wow, and more wow. This is really, really magnificent. This is truly a lovely, lovely, lovely reading. It really, really is. Now, I do think that you are potentially working very hard, my beautiful pile ones. Possibly it's something that you love. And you may also be looking after people who you love, but feeling a bit overloaded, a bit burdened, wondering quite how you're going to get through it all. But you're going to. And not only are you going to, but you are going to be supported every step of the way. Even in the Strength card here, we actually have this beautiful bear who's totally chilled out with this gorgeous maiden sitting upon the bear, who is completely chilled. Whatever your week is ahead, whatever your plans right here and right now, do them with joy. If there's anything that you feel is a burden for you at the moment, my wonderful pile ones, just, I kind of want to say let it go and trust that the universe is going to deliver to you. The message from Spirit for you is really, really clear. I think this week you may well be quite busy or carrying quite a lot or looking after people, carrying responsibility. You may have a full schedule. You may be just getting back into work at the time of doing this reading. We're right at the start of the new year. It's timeless. You could come to this at any time. But there's an energy around you of something that is literally about to come to fruition. You don't need to worry about this. Just surrender to the process. We've got success. We've got the Star card, we've got the Chariot happening quickly, we've got strength, being able to persevere. Make a commitment to anything and everything that you feel you need to do this week. I'm going to get a bit more information, draw a few more cards to find out what this might be about for you. But I would say make a commitment this week to your pathway ahead, and literally through the eyes of a child, trust and believe that everything you need will be delivered in order to make your week a really, really, really fantastic, fabulous, successful week, whatever that success will mean for you. This is absolutely gorgeous. Let's find out if there's anything you need to know. If you are indeed somebody who's feeling like you're a bit overloaded, is there anything you need to know about that? Do we have guidance around that? We have the Lovers. We have the Nine of Swords. How interesting. This is fascinating. This is really, really fascinating. Are we shown anything else around the idea of being overloaded? We have the Eight of Wands and we have the Five of Wheels. Okay. Right. This is really interesting. I think that basically you're worried. You're worrying about it. This is saying make a choice not to worry. Make a choice not to worry about the outcome. You're fearful of something either not working or something not coming through or something not delivering, or whether you can achieve it. Some of you might even be fearful of rejection if you actually back away from looking after someone. If you're carrying too much responsibility for someone, you might be fearful of rejection. This is literally sort of saying with the Eight of Wands, go for it. With confidence, choose. You know, the card of the Lovers is ultimately, in its purest form, the energy is about choice. Okay, it can be about choice in love. And if you are being overburdened, if you're in a relationship where you are carrying far more responsibility than the other person, and you're really feeling like you just kind of want to chill out and walk away, well, it might be the time to chill out and walk away. Your world is going to be fabulous. This week looks a really good week for you. Really, really prosperous. Really, really establishes you in a really good way. So stop worrying about it. I feel the worry is completely unprecedented, actually. It's not needed. Is that the right word? Unprecedented? Not needed, unneeded. Is there such a word as unneeded? Well, hopefully you know what I mean. It's not needed. Whatever worry you have, indeed, if you have a worry, it could go back to childhood, where maybe you were left out in the cold if you didn't take responsibility for everybody. Maybe you were put in a position where you carried far too much at a young age, and it's left you with this sort of predisposition to take on more than you should. This is a week to focus on a belief that everything you need will come to you as and when you need it. I think this is a stunning week for you. Literally, center yourself with the perception, look through the lens of a beautiful child who has not had any challenging experiences yet and completely trusts that the world is going to deliver. Because I think it's going to this week. I think this is what we're being shown. I'll draw just a couple more cards just to conclude your reading, but I feel that the messages are really clear for you, Pile 1. What a super week. It just feels so fabulous. Look at that. We've got the Fool. You're seriously turning a corner this week. We have the Seven of Cups. How joyous. We have the Five of Wands. I love this Five of Wands because, you know, the Five of Wands is a card that can be quite competitive. But, you know, they have a smile on it. They're smiling. They're joyous. It's almost like this is what I would call healthy competition rather than, you know, kind of intense kind of competition. This is healthy competition. This is stepping up. It's enjoying it. It's like treating it like a game. This is all about going for it and with a really, really, really positive attitude of just leaping in and trusting, with absolute trust that whatever you need, whatever decisions you have to make as the week pans out, whatever you need to do, you'll be shown the way. Literally, the week will be almost navigated for you. This is a week of co-creation. This is fabulous. We then have the Nine of Wands, This is really interesting because this Nine of Wands, I always feel this is someone who is leaving something behind. How interesting. Can we have more information about the Nine of Wands? And then we have the Three of Cups. If you are feeling burdened, taking too much responsibility in a situation, perhaps if you're navigating or managing a team and you're carrying far too much, far more than anyone else, but that sort of perhaps childhood pattern of carrying responsibility for everybody, or feeling that if you don't, you'll be sort of abandoned. I think that is going to change this week. Three of Cups is a joyous card of celebration. It's also a card of community, of friendship, of people coming in. I think that people, literally, if you are someone who is carrying too much, I think other people will come in and share the load. I literally do feel that's going to happen. This is fabulous. This is a really, really positive week. And your worries and concerns, I think, are unfounded. I can see that they might be very real for some of you in certain situations. But I also suspect part of it is that your buttons may have been pressed, and there may be something in you that is tuning into the perception of a child who had to step up, rather than a child who was free to just be a child and trust that the grown-ups around would step in and help. And this feels like a reversal of that, where people step in to support you, and indeed Spirit, Source, your spirit team, the universe step in to support you. Pile 1, I think it's going to be a really fabulous week. Hold that positive energy, hold that trust, remove any obstacles within you, and let the week unfold. I think it's going to be, I think this week could really, really surprise you in terms of how absolutely fabulously amazing it turns out to be, even in the face of feeling a bit daunted by some stuff that's going on around you. Pile, thank you so much for being here. Keep us posted as the week pans out. Come back if you're able to, maybe bookmark the page, come back and post in the comments so we know how your week is unfolding. Thank you so much to all of you who do comment. It's really lovely to hear what's happening in your worlds, and it's wonderful also the way that you are. I see as I read, I can't reply to all your comments, but I do read them, and it's wonderful to see the way that you support each other, as well as obviously thanking you hugely for the way you support me. Pile 1, tons of love. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading here. Tons and tons of love to you. See you soon for another reading. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the card of cultivation. Beautiful souls, welcome. Welcome back if you are returning, and welcome if you're new. The energy around you, my lovely souls, is interesting. I think you need to nurture something that is I want to say your own perspective on something, with this beautiful big heart. Cultivation is a card that speaks about nurture. Awaz is a really interesting rune, the rune of defense, because it sometimes suggests that there is something going on around you that you are kind of, well, basically it's not quite resonating with you. And so it calls you to kind of cultivate, I guess cultivate what is right for you, to recognise to not stay with something if it isn't right for you, to recognise when something isn't sitting well with you. Sometimes we can't push through with something with this rune. Patience is required, and perhaps taking time to reflect and really observe what's going on. Let's find out more for you. May we please have an initial message for my beautiful pile 2. We have the Panther energy. Wowzer. Okay, Panther energy is really interesting. Very often indicates that you are an old soul and that you really, really are seeing something. Okay, so I think you're seeing something around you. It's almost like seeing in the dark, seeing between the worlds. I think you're seeing the reality of something. Now the question is, well, I was going to say, what do you do about it? So let's get more information and see if we can get more information about that primary message. So we have Harvest Mother watches over me. Look at this beautiful pregnant sheep. I think there's something going on around you that you're not entirely comfortable with. Now, it could be a someone with the heart. It could actually be someone that you care about with the heart. And I think you're probably not entirely sure quite how to process this. However, I think the answer right now might actually be to kind of wait and see. This sheep isn't birthing yet. And maybe there is higher guidance coming in with Harvest Mother watches over me. Oh, that's your card coming through here. Okay, pray to the east, guardian watches over the west. Yes, look at this. They are all looking in that direction. They're all looking to the east. And the red light is behind you here. Okay, I think that literally right now there isn't anything you can do about this situation, but I think it requires observation and watching it. And also looking beyond it, I want to say, not dwelling in it. Not dwelling in it, not using it to hold you or keep you stuck. I think this is like seeing past it. Guardian watches over the west. Maybe you just need to let something go, put it behind you. The west is the gateway in a way where we do see between the worlds. And the east is the new beginning. I think you maybe need to put something behind you, let it go, and sort of trust that it's going to get sorted. We've got real energy of guardians, ancestors looking out for this situation and looking out for you. Guardian watches over the west. I think it's being guarded, it's being sorted. Harvest Mother watches over you. And this is behind you. I don't think there's anything you need to do about this situation. I think it has really jarred with you. It hasn't resonated with you. I suspect it connects to a circumstance that you really felt in your heart. But now I think it's time to probably actually sort of, just literally let it go and kind of trust that it's being attended to. Prayer. And this is very, very interesting, this card. It's the solar plexus card, or one of the solar plexus chakras. But the story of this card is to do with, that kind of idea that the grass is always greener. When we kind of always think there's going to be something better. I wonder if in a way for you there actually is something better. But maybe it hasn't yet unfolded or emerged with Harvest Mother. It's not quite there yet. I'm going to draw your tarot cards before we dive in too much further. But I do feel a situation has occurred around you that hasn't resonated with you. And I think you've been left really not being quite sure what to do about it. You see it for what it is. I really think you have seen it. It may be that you've even seen someone for who they are. And, maybe that was a bit disappointing. And you're not quite sure what to do. I do think putting it behind you is the right thing to do. I don't think you can dwell on this. But also I do think it may be that you are being taken to greener pastures. You're being guided in a different direction, perhaps. Let's draw more cards. Let's draw your tarot cards. Can we ask about the week ahead particularly? How is this unfolding in the next 7 days, please? For my beautiful pile 2. How is this situation unfolding over the next 7 days, please? I feel there's more to come in this pack, and out pops the sun. Okay. Now, technically, this card came out last, so I think there will be a creative solution. I think there'll be, this is happy. This is a card of joy and happiness. So that's pretty fab. Right, so your first card, 7 of Cups. followed by the King of Wheels, which is the King of Pentacles, followed by the Five of Cups. Yeah, you've been really disappointed by someone that you looked up to, actually, I think, or a situation that you had great expectations over. I think you really have experienced disappointment, but you see it for what it is. Now, the Four of Wands is a card of commitment. How interesting that the Four of Wands, I will say the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups actually both came out in pile one. So if you were drawn to pile one, there may well be a message for you. I won't say any more. Wow, look at this. We have the Knight of Wheels. We have the Lovers. Yes, some of these cards did come out in pile one. So if you were drawn to pile one, I think it might be well worth looking at that, especially in terms of how the energy might move for you in the week ahead. Right, I will say nothing more, and I'm just going to focus on your reading right now. Okay, the first thing I need to say to you is that I think someone you looked up to, or a circumstance that you thought held a really significant promise, didn't work out, and you were very, very disappointed. I think this is making a commitment to move forwards. I think it's literally to letting it go. Now, whether letting go means that you move on to greener pastures, or letting it go means you move on to actually continue where you are, but, kind of not bearing a grudge, not carrying a grudge. You've seen it for what it is. But I can't help feeling that something is getting sorted because a guardian is watching over the west. So the past, let's say the east is over here in front of you, and what's happened is in the west behind you. That red light, if you were to turn around and go backwards, that red traffic light is literally saying don't go back. Now, for some of you, it could genuinely be that you're going to move forwards to greener pastures. But with the prayer card, it does also identify that sometimes the greener pastures, or what we think will be a better solution, kind of basically the story with this is that somebody dreamed of moving away to the big city, and eventually they had a kind of a calling to stay where they were, and actually the calling turned out to be absolutely the right pathway for them. So it's a really interesting energy because it's not about going back, but I think it might be accepting and letting go of something that's taken place, because your cards are really positive. We've got this one card here, Five of Cups. We've got Seven of Cups, choices and decisions. Some of you may even have stepped up over something. But I think somebody, possibly even in a position of leadership, someone you looked up to, or someone or a circumstance didn't pan out. You've been very disappointed. This is, look at the olive branch as well here. He's holding an olive branch. I think with the Four of Wands this week, there will actually be opportunity potentially to kind of like come to terms with this. Even these hands are holding, okay, it's not an olive branch, but this is about cultivating seeds. Six of Cups is a card of generosity. And the Knight of Wheels is moving something forwards. This is a fast-moving, passionate card. The Chariot suggests that things can be moved forwards. The Sun is happiness. And the Lovers ultimately is a card of choice. I think your messages are really clear here today, actually, my lovely pile 2. I can see that this happened and it's been a struggle to let it go, and it's lingered. But actually, put it behind you. What I don't think you can personally do anymore. I think your job is to let it go, sort of almost accept it, and recognise that there is almost like divine timing, or basically the guardians, your ancestors are sorting out what's happened. I don't think you can do any more than just know what you've seen and choose to not bear a grudge and put it down and move on. The Four of Wands, I do think somebody may even offer you an olive branch. Someone may reach out to you. In which case, put it down and let it go. Put it behind you. because actually there is a really, really, really happy outcome here. Let's just ask for any further guidance or information about this, perhaps a sneaky peek into where it's going. We have the Ten of Swords, so I mean this is a putting it down, it's letting it go, it's bringing it to an end. Letting it go, bringing it to an end, not carrying a grudge, letting it go. We have the King of Cups. Yeah, generosity of spirit. Do you know, whatever's happened, even if you were kind of stabbed in the back, be the bigger person. You know, just be the bigger person. Let it go. Look at this, the Seven of Wheels. You can cultivate this. You can sow new seeds, which is what cultivation is all about. You can sow new seeds. We've got Knight of Wheels, which is a real positive new start. And you have the Knight of Wands. I thought that was the Knight of Wands, actually, but it's the Knight of Wheels, the Knight of Pentacles. It's really interesting. The energy is so fiery. I think I really connected it to the same energy of moving fast. But this is a solid new beginning. The Knight of Wands. This is a fast-moving energy. You've got both these knights. I think in real terms, you can put something behind you and build a really, really, really bright kind of positive potential connection here. Possibly with somebody who you may actually at one time thought you'd never really be able to get over the disappointment. I think there's a real new beginning here for something, and it could well be on your doorstep. It might mean kind of staying, or I do feel this is much more about putting something behind you. For some of you, you may physically move away, but many of you, I do feel this is about like a real resolution, putting it down, moving on from something. And genuinely, I think, you know, with a big heart, with a big heart, I do think somebody or a circumstance really did disappoint you massively. It really didn't resonate with you to the point where I think you've really wanted to walk away completely. But for some reason, something of that is coming to an end. It's getting attended to in a different way. And that feels, you know, positive and wonderful, like your ancestors, the guardians, your spirit team, spirit source are taking care of it. You kind of don't need to worry about this. I think for you, this is about having a big heart and choosing to actually move forwards. And I think it's looking really, really fruitful and really, really positive. I mean, what a joyous start to a new year if you're watching this as I'm doing the reading, because this is my first Sunday reading of 2025. Obviously, if you're watching it in a year's time or 6 months' time or something, it won't, because these are timeless readings. But beautiful souls, this really does feel like the most positive outcome possible. It's fab. So yeah, have that big heart, and just trust that this is all being taken care of behind the scenes. And if an olive branch is handed out, it would be a really wonderful thing to accept it with extremely good grace, even though you have the realism of what you know of this person or circumstance. But I think you can be the bigger person in this, and I think a really happy outcome can be acquired here, which is absolutely lovely. So, beautiful pile 2. Wow, what an interesting read. I mean, it really, really is. My beautiful souls, thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. And keep us posted in the comments. It's wonderful to hear what's happening in your world, and you know, if you want to come back later in the week and let us know how the week is panning out, we would love to hear. And thank you, because I do read your comments. I can't reply to them all, but I do read them. And thank you for the way that you support each other, as well as your support of me is just, you know, so humbling, and I feel really honoured. So, my beautiful souls, thank you so, so much for being here. Tons and tons of love. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Welcome back if you are already part of the Moon Magic community. Welcome if you're new. This reading is a little bit mind-blowing, even just as it is. I have to say this. It really is fascinating, mind-blowingly full of potential. What this card and this rune and this butterfly are already saying to me is that you are in a position where you can really own your own power and manifest something through shifting a perspective on something. It's kind of like it's like recognizing that you have the capacity to manifest, literally almost change energy. By changing your perception of something, you change the energy around you, and the energy therefore then manifests into form. Now the butterfly is emerging, it's a point of emergence. And Fehu, the rune of nourishment of possessions, it's about ambition satisfied. I think that there is something that you can do if you change your perspective or shift your perspective on something or change a viewpoint of something. Literally, it could trigger like a bit like dominoes. When you line up, you see them lined up in a row, and you push one, and they all fall into place. It's almost as though the energy can align for you. Everything can fall into place if you shift your perspective on something. So you've kind of got to see it as falling into place. Well, I think that's the message that's coming through all already from your rune, from your charm, and from this card. So let's draw more cards and see what else we're shown. I am seriously blown away by your reading. I really, really am already. And we haven't even started drawing other cards. May we please ask for more information, please, for my pile 3. Rabbit, right, yes, don't be scared don't be scared to do something, to just go for it. This is like the rabbit in the headlights. Rabbit energy is, the story in native traditions around rabbit is that they kind of became fearful because they didn't step up over something. This is all about you stepping up. Now, I think that's too many cards, but you know, I think I'm going to go with them all. Let's be bold. Let's do it. All these cards have come out. We will read them. Right. Tender trust, beloved body. Be led by the path before you. We have daughters of the red tent. Look at this. She tames by laying down the staff and rope. Excuse my gasping away here, but this is mind-blowing energy here. This really, really is. This is fab. Right, let's move your cards over so that we can get... So I'm going to want to draw tarot cards. Let me move these over and make sure that we've got space to draw your tarot cards. Perhaps if I put these over here. And put this one here. Look, I'm kind of really having to juggle things a bit. What are you juggling? Okay. Daughters of the Red Tent. It's really interesting because this is a card that speaks of a transition. I do actually feel this needs to be in the middle. I'm just going to put this here. We'll work it out as we go. Okay. This is a card that speaks of a transition, and it's not always the easiest energy, okay? But you can do it. I mean, look at this. Be led by the path before you. Trust. She tames by laying down the staff and rope. This is about trust. Trusting that you'll be shown the way. Trusting that you'll be guided. Trusting that what you need will come to you. Now, it's not always easy to trust. This is about changing your perception. Literally trusting that you can, kind of like a miracle will happen, that you can transform something. If there's anything going on around you, I do feel there is a transition for most of you. Now, this will be unique to you. Like you're trying to get from A to B, really. That's the energy that is around you. And you're anxious about it. You're fearful, as to quite how to do it. What's the next step? How are you going to navigate this? How are you going to sort this out? How are you going to get from A to B? But we've got rivers. Look at the river in this card here. It's very narrow. And here it is opening up. Yeah, you will be guided completely. Whatever this A to B situation is, to get from one position to another, to get from one shore to another. Look at that paper boat. I think you're feeling a bit like to do this, to achieve this, feels like you're a paper boat setting forth on a gigantic ocean. And you're thinking, well, how am I ever going to get to the other shore? This is a reading that affirms that you will. Don't be afraid to take that step. Okay, this is going to emerge. You're going to get to the end goal. Let's draw tarot cards, find out more about it, and particularly about the coming week. I do these readings every Sunday, beautiful souls. So if you're thinking, oh, I want more information, I want to know more further ahead than a week, I will, come back on a Sunday and there'll be another set of readings for you. That's why these readings are here every single week on a Sunday. That's why I do them every Sunday. We get an immediate message. We tune into the energy that is right now. And there are a whole bank of these readings on the home channel that you can check into on the Moon Magic Tarot channel. On the homepage there are playlists that you can find. They are resources if you need to be guided to a reading where you need like some assistance and guidance at any time. Okay, let's get more information, particularly about, how do you do this, about the week ahead, right now, what's happening, how do you navigate this? How do you navigate this transition? There's definitely an energy around you. I think you'll be supported. I really do. I'm seeing a lot of cards coming through for you, pile 3. And I'm going to leave those and come back to the pack if we need them. Let's look at these first. 9 of Wands. Yeah, you are... I think you're feeling a little bit like it's going to be wading through treacle, or like it's like that paper boat on a great big ocean. How on earth are you going to get through it? But you can do this. Look at the 8 of Wheels. You can achieve this. This is the 8 of Pentacles. Just work at it. Just be steady, be consistent. Now you have the Devil card here. Okay. Let's find out more about this. We've then got the 7 of Wheels. We've got the Ace of Swords. Okay. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the 5 of Swords. And then we have the 8 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Wheels. Right. Okay. Okay. Right, how do you get from A to B? For some of you, there is something or someone actually holding you back. It's like there's someone or something in the way here. And I think... Now, the someone or something could be you. It could be your perception. It could be your mindset. It could be your belief system. You might have an inner belief, a bit like having an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. And every time you start to get going and you think, no, I can do this, it's like the devil on your shoulder says, no, you can't. Absolutely no, you can't. You'll never achieve this. Or if someone is standing in your way or something is in the way, every time you start to move forwards, something pops up. It's not popping up to stop you. It's popping up because it's helping you to... It's kind of showing you something that you need to navigate through. Okay. Now keep investing. We've got the 8 of Wheels and we've got the 7 of Wheels. Look at these wheels sown in this beautiful field, these furrows. Keep sowing seeds. If you are feeling blocked, if you're feeling like you know where you want to be, but it feels like you are that paper boat out on the ocean, and you feel like I'm never going to get there, the boat will just get waterlogged and it will sink, and what do I do? Just keep going. Invest and keep sowing seeds. If you were, for example, trying to move house, or looking for a new job, keep on looking, keep applying for jobs. If you're looking for a new house, keep applying for, keep looking, just keep on looking. I think that as the week pans out, if you can hold a really positive mindset, I think you'll start to begin to see some openings here. In fact, I would suggest that this week there is an opening coming to you. It means you have to make a choice about something. You may actually have to walk away from something. But this is suggesting that it would be advisable not to cling to the safety of something or cling to the old. This is suggesting there will be an opening. I'm seeing in the Eight of Cups, you walk away. The Five of Swords. If you're dealing with a difficult character, I think it might perhaps come to a head. You may, with the Hanged Man, actually see something. Something may come to light that will enable you to kind of cut cords with the devil. We're often encouraged to cut cords. The devil can be, it's such a mixture of energies. It really can be a challenging circumstance or a challenging person. But it can also be an indication that we really do need, it's like it's suggesting there can be the light at the end of the tunnel. We need to cut the cords and move on. I'm going to draw some more cards for you to see if I can get any more information. But I'm seeing you move on from something. I'm seeing you leave something behind. So whatever may be going on around you, it's interesting, even perceptive, oblivious, aware, perceptions. Even with this card, she has like a tear coming out of her eye here. I think it's time for you to emerge from something and have put aside any fear and have the courage to do so. I think many of you may be actually making a decision to leave something behind. And I think this week there is an opening for you with the Hierophant. Let's get a bit more information. Could we have any more information about right here and right now for my beautiful pile 3? I mean, this is interesting because this is about emergence and ambition satisfied. We have the Knight of Wands and we have the Five of Wheels. Okay, an interesting paradox of energy here. I'm hearing to look on the base of the pack. Let's look on the base of the pack. We have the Sun. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I think you're fearful of moving on from something. You're fearful of what might happen if you move on. Perhaps fearful of rejection or of it going wrong. But I think ultimately this is suggesting that there will be an opening where you can exit something. This is all about trust and knowing that you'll be shown the way, actually. I believe Spirit has your back, like on this one, 100%, like 1,000%, really, truly. I'm so sorry that you are in a position where I think there's genuine anxiety about being able to move forwards. I'm really, really sorry that you're feeling that. But you're being asked to change your perspective from feeling like it's not possible to believing that it is. Okay, yeah, we have the Three of Cups. I think help will arrive. Yeah, I think help will arrive to assist you. Yes, Eight of Wands. We have the Three of Cups, the Eight of Wands. I think help will arrive to assist you. Yes, Knight of Cups. Look at this. The Knight of Cups very often indicates someone offering you something. He comes in with this cup. I think that actually this week something, or either a circumstance or someone, will actually step up and assist you. And it will create an opening for you so that you can actually move away or step up and move beyond the situation. You can get from A to B, basically. And I think someone will come in and give you the assistance you need to move this forwards. And it might actually be someone who's a little bit, it might be slightly unexpected with this dark horse. It could literally almost be what I would call the dark horse of the race. Someone unexpectedly, you think, well, I never saw that one coming. I never thought that person would step up and help, or I never thought this would be the assistance I get. I think something is definitely coming in to assist you, and I think it's coming this week. And it will help you to emerge, and it will get you from that A to that B position. I'm really glad to see that. I'm actually going to draw just one more card from the Wild Q and Yin cards. If you love the card, any of the cards I'm using, beautiful souls, I always list them in the information box below. This is your card. Oh, look at this. Sisters of the Spring Swallow, good fortune granted. I mean, look at the transition here. That card could not give you a greater affirmation. Do not fear, dear ones. You are absolutely going to be receiving what you need to move from the position you're in now to the position that you want to be in. Whatever this transition is, it could be moving from lack to a place where you have what you need. It could be a lack of support. you get the support you need. It could be some finances, it could be a change in your living circumstances, but there is something around you that you are anxious about. It could be money worries, but you are going to shift, and what you need will come to you, and you will emerge. And truly, so shift your perspective right now and lean into that space of trust. I think this is the week when you see that shift, so this is fabulous. Pile 3, keep us posted. And I'm so sorry that whatever's going on is feeling challenging, but I think it's really, really going to work out. I really, really do. And I think you're going to see that opening or that shift coming this week. My beautiful souls, keep us posted. Let us know in the comments what's happening. Don't forget to subscribe and press a little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. I'll be posting readings. I always post usually on Tuesdays and Fridays, the bigger readings, and quite often small Archangel Michael readings on a more daily basis, just the little ones. So do check those out as well if that's something that if you're big on Archangel Michael. I know many of you are. I know I am very big on the information that comes through from Archangel Michael. I do lots of smaller readings, but I do a lot of Archangel Michael ones. It's an energy. His energy is very much, I'm being very much asked actually at the moment to work with Archangel Michael in those smaller readings and some bigger ones too. So beautiful souls, tons of love. Keep me posted. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. I am sending you all the love in the world, beautiful souls. And yeah, keep us posted in the comments. Tons of love.